Hello and welcome once again to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. In this video we're taking a look at the Disney Plus wave from Marvel Legends, in particular the Kate Bishop figure from the Hawkeye TV show. Very excited about this one, so let's open it up and take a closer look. Now this of course is Kate Bishop from the TV show Hawkeye, played of course by Hailee Steinfeld. Now, having a look at the figure, the realism of her is pretty good. I mean, it's not an exact, doppelganger of her, but, we'll get to that in a sec. We got two alternate hands, so two open palm hands, as well as the two gripping hands. We've got a nice new bow, and the string on it is quite flexible, whereas on some of these other bows, they're quite rigid. You've also got the Infinity Ultron leg, but I'll get to him in another video. And on her back, you've got her arrows in the quill kind of sheath thing anyway, attached to a belt that goes over her chest and under her arm like it does in a TV show. Now the articulation on her is really great. She's got double pinned elbows, double jointed elbows, so you can get her into those kind of archer poses. I think if they'd given us the single jointed elbows, there would have been a lot of complaints here because you can't do much with those single jointed elbows, especially when it comes to characters like Hawkeye and like Kate Bishop that obviously need the articulation in order to get them into some good poses. So be careful with these hands because it's a female figure. The joint, the hands and the pegs and the holes and that are slightly smaller, so just be a bit careful when you're taking them out. Now, as I said, the head sculpt isn't an exact copy of her, but it looks enough like her that you know that who it's supposed to be. They've obviously used the photoreal technology here, and I think that they've captured her likeness pretty well. For an action figure. I mean, there have been some hideous ones, let's be honest, but this one is pretty good. Now, the strap is pretty well attached. I mean, you could get that off if you took the head off and worked it down the arm, but it's not going to go anywhere. Now, the ponytail is also attached to the head, so that does kind of hinder the articulation in the head a little bit, but not enough to have any real major complaints. Now, as I said in other videos, I was a massive fan of the Hawkeye TV show. I really enjoyed it, and I think both Kate Bishop and Clint Barton were great in it. So to get both of those characters in one wave at the same time is really cool. Let's be honest, that whole wave was full of a load of Disney Plus TV show characters that we've come to know and love, including Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, both the Hawkeyes, and of course Sharon Carter from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The kind of random odd inclusion of her in the wave, but overall it was a really solid wave. Now, we've only ever had one other Kate Bishop figure, and that was back in 2016, and it was this version. It was the comic book version that came in a Target exclusive 3-pack alongside Vision and Sam Wilson's Captain America. Now, this has been quite a sought after figure because it's the only Kate Bishop that we've got. So if you're familiar with Kate Bishop in the comic books, or you're a fan of Kate Bishop's Hawkeye, this was the only option that you had to get a figure. And I think side by side, looking at comic book and looking at the TV stroke movie version, it's definitely a good representation of the character. Now, the detail on her is really nice. There's loads of details in regards to all the little buckles and straps and zips and stuff that made up her costume. And yeah, if you stand her next to Clint Barton here, he's in a very vanilla out of the box pose, but you can see that height wise they shape up quite well as well. And I'm really pleased that the purples are slightly different as well, because again, similar to the TV show, they weren't an exact match, but they look like a good duo. I would definitely recommend picking up Kate Bishop because I don't think that's the last we've seen of her. I think she's going to pop up again throughout different movies and stuff. So I think if you're a fan of the MCU and if you're a fan of the kind of ensemble look, I think she's definitely worth picking up. Yes, of course, we'll probably see a different version of her because she'll probably get a new suit at some point. But to get this Hawkeye version, this kind of original version, is definitely worth picking up. And because we're of the age where the figures are now produced with quite a good quality, so you've got those double jointed elbows, you've got that photoreal technology, I don't think this figure is going to age dramatically anytime soon. So yep, definitely worth picking up, and because it's a new wave, it's still readily available at Hasbro Pulse and various other retailers, etc. So yeah, overall really pleased with this one. I was very apprehensive about the Hawkeye figures because they only ever showed us the digital renders, but as I said on previous videos, I'm really shocked that they didn't show us some actual production pictures because they're really good figures. There's really very little to complain about. I think the only complaint I have about Hawkeyes in general is that the bowstring is made of plastic and it's quite quite kind of rigid and stuck in place. But as I've just shown you here, it's a little bit more flexible. It's got a bit more flex in it than others. But if that was an actual string, it would make this figure a lot better. But overall, it's a fantastic figure and well worth picking up. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. Do check out my page for other 5-minute figure reviews, and I will see you very soon.